All right, we're live. Hi, everyone. Oh, I've got extra sound coming through that I don't want. Did I just talk too loud? Okay, so I've got the chat on the YouTube stream is there. If you want to ask a question, I can't promise that I'll be able to see all of them. I think we're going to have a lot of stuff to go over, but just mention me. And I'll do my best to include them when we have time. So we've got Peter and Zolt, Zolt's at the top. He's the CEO of YAW VR, and Peter's the marketing manager, isn't it, Peter? Something? Yep.
One is sales director, yes.
That's sales, sorry. So we're here to talk about the situation with the YAW 2. But before we get into that, I just wanted to show some of the data from the questions collected as a comparison to last time. So the last interview was in September, and we had, oh no, something's not working. Actually, I can do it from here. All right, so if I go to Media Player 2, oops, that's not the right image. All right, so of the people that responded to the interview in September, we had 57 respondents, and 86% of them were Kickstarter backers. This time we had 59 respondents, with 79% being Kickstarter backers, and we've had an increase in YAW 2 pre-order people who responded. And of those previously, whoops, sorry, that's the same. No, so existing simulator. I think I've accidentally put the wrong image in the media pool. I have, that's all. I replaced the wrong image. All right, so of the respondents in September, 77% had no motion simulator. What we've seen here is proof that at least in the respondents, there's been an increase in people who own a YAW 2, because we've gone from 7% with a YAW 2 up to 23.7%. So that's good. And then just the satisfaction with communication. So we've had an increase, a bit of a decrease in satisfaction, slight, but I'd say that's still a fairly similar curve to previously, with it most people being neither happy nor unhappy, which is good. So let's get back to, So perhaps, gentlemen, if you want to give us your recap of what's happened since September, I guess, or what would you like to let us know about at the moment?
So hi everyone again, and thank you, Brian, to organizing this conversation. And I hope we can make a clear picture about our current status. Since we post usually a detailed update in every 2 weeks, so I cannot give you big new information about our status, but of course we can clarify some questions, and the picture will be more clear. So since September, lots of things happened. We were working with a potential investor for last month. For example, we have started a higher number of production, but it's still a low number. Unfortunately, I think we will touch this topic later. We have started to sell the device, which is, I understand, it's not very comfortable for our backers, but unfortunately it was a, let's say, forced step because we had to do this step if you want to move forward. So yeah, lots of things is ongoing, and I'm here to answer all the questions or topics, to discuss about the topics.
Okay. I guess a lot of people are concerned looking at the discussion in the Discord about the financial situation. So you mentioned that you were talking to an investor. Is that an ongoing discussion? Or can you say, is that an ongoing discussion, or is that it hasn't panned out? Or?
So as we also mentioned in one of our earlier updates, maybe in December or later as well, we discussed about that. We spent our capital mostly on product development, and with the hope that with two hopes. One is that we will find an investor on time. That was our main hope, and after a successful Kickstarter campaign with a, I believe, great device, we really believed that we will be able to find an investor on time. In addition, our current investor committed itself for $1 million an additional investment. But in case if we can find another investor, so everything looked bright and great, and we just jumped in the product development. But after a while, we realized that the product development wasn't enough fast, and the production scale up wasn't enough fast as well, mostly because of the delay of product development. And yeah, around last November, we realized that we have to do something if we want to, let's say, survive. So we want to operate for a longer term. At that time, we had a serious discussion with a professional investor. That means not financial investor, but a professional investor, and it looked very promising. We got a few commitments that the deal can be closed at that time, and after another time, and another time. And around December, we realized that maybe this deal will not be closed soon or anytime. So that's why we have to decide to change a little bit our strategy in December. And unfortunately, in February, we got the information that, or maybe in March, no, in February, we got the information they will not invest. Maybe they are afraid about because of our situation or something. Sorry if my English not so perfect. We don't know exactly, but they just step back. But fortunately, we have another potential investor here in Hungary, and we have an investment advisor who has an international network. So he's working on to find other investors, and we just signed an other contract yesterday with an American-related investment advisor who will help us to find investor in the US. And we also have two Asian, not advisor, but let's say friend, who are committed to help us to find investors from Asia. So there are lots of opportunities around us to find investor. But right now we are working with the mindset that, okay, we don't have investor and maybe we will not have investor, but we have to build up a strategy to move forward and working and going and be able to deliver to our backers without investor. Yeah. And if we can find one in the meantime, then it will be a great acceleration for us on this way.
So you think an investor would help in ramping up production, or is it like it's
Yeah. So right now there are a few issues with the financial situation. One is that when we sell a device, we have to finance not just the production, but the whole overhead, or I don't know exactly the English term for that. So we have to finance the development, we have to finance the management, the assistance, and everything. And if we could get an investment, then first we could finance the development from the investment for sure. We can pre-finance and so we want to, as I told you before, as we wrote in our update, we want to move the production, the most of the production to abroad, mostly to Asia, and for that we need some capital to be able to finance the preparation and the let's say pre-orders of the high quantity of devices. So for that also we need some capital, so investor can help in that as well. So in development, in pre-finance of the abroad production, it can help in the marketing. We would have a marketing budget or higher marketing budget, which can help us to sell more devices, which can help us to make more profit and provide and deliver more Kickstarter devices, and so on. So I think an investor could speed up the process to deliver all the Kickstarter devices.
So just to try and summarize, it'd be fair to say that that investment basically helps you get to the point where manufacturing is self-sustaining all of the costs, because you're more profitable per unit once you've got past all of the Kickstarter units.
Yes, yes, exactly, and of course it can help on many other ways to grow and to be able to deliver. Yes.
So, I mean, my next question was going to be about manufacturing. So, is there is Taiwan dependent on investment, or it'll just be a slower ramp up, or?
No. Originally,
Asia, wherever you're planning to manufacture.
Sorry.
Wherever you're planning to manufacture, whether it's Taiwan or not. I guess.
Okay. So originally, if we could get the investment from our professional investor, it was a little bit depending on the production in Asia, maybe in China or Taiwan. But now we are looking for investors without any dependency of the production in anywhere. But of course, we see that if we could move the production to China, for example, then the production cost would be hopefully much lower than we can do now. Yeah, so honestly, in Taiwan, we started from a certain level. I can tell basically to everybody. So we started from $1,800 as a production cost, but right now, after lots of discussion, and they just know much more about our device and parts and everything, right now we are over the price level or the cost level what we produce here in Hungary. So here in Hungary right now it's cheaper than the offer from Taiwan. So, but it's not the discussion is not ended yet. So we still are in discussion with them, and we are continuously iterating. But because of that, we just moved toward China and Thailand. So we are in discussion with a Chinese and Thailander or Thai partner, and they are working on to give us some offer. We have just pointed them to the target price, which is $2,000 US. So we want to reach this target price. But if it will not be possible, we see a good chance to to decrease a little bit our production price or production cost here in Hungary. In the last 3-4 weeks, we made lots of optimization on that in terms of technical, I don't know,
simplifying production,
of the production.
make changes that simplify production, I assume. Yeah.
Yes, and in terms of the workforce of the production, so we could optimize both of them. So we think we can decrease the production price in Hungary as well, but it would be much better to find a partner in China or in Thailand. Not mostly because of the price, but because of the capacity. So here in Hungary, the main issue, maybe not the price firstly, let's say it's a secondary issue. The primary issue is that for increase the capacity over 100 device per month, so the ideal would be 300 devices per month, but we are now at around 80, which is not really good. According to our production manager opinion, we could increase it until 120 or something, but to jump to 300, it would be a big investment here in Hungary, because we should buy new machines, new production facilities and so on. So that would be very costly. But if we could find a partner in China or Thailand, or even in Taiwan, then the production capacity wouldn't be an issue anymore. So we could just order 200 or 300 devices per month. For example, in case of our Taiwanian partner, their capacity is around 300 devices per month.
Okay. Yeah. Another place you might look is Vietnam. There's a lot of manufacturing out of Vietnam as well. I don't have any contacts.
Yeah, right
there,
now we don't have any partner in Vietnam.
Yeah.
If I hear you correctly,
yes.
you were a little bit.
Sorry, is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Thank
you.
Thank
I'll stand closer to the mic.
So we don't have a partner in Vietnam yet, but we are discovering all the countries around there, even India. So we are on this way to working on that part, and maybe I will visit China and Thailand soon. And in that case, I will try to find some connection in Vietnam and India as well, and maybe stop there to discuss about the production.
Okay.
There.
I just saw someone in the YouTube chat has asked, do you have a certain amount of money that you're expecting to raise, or it's like, is there a minimum amount that you're looking for?
Right now, we're looking for between 3 million. So in our financial plan, there is 3 million, and we are looking for between 2 and 4. So somewhere between 2 and 4. And don't forget, we have 1 million commitment here in Hungary. So if we can find an investor with 2 million, then we can put another million next to it, and then we have the 3 million. So basically, let's say we are looking for $3 million US dollars.
Okay. So if anyone sees a video and wants to invest, should they just message me and I'll somehow get you in contact?
Please contact us.
Contact
us. We have all the materials, because we just sent it out to our new advisor yesterday. So we have fresh pitch deck and everything.
So and what I can say as someone who has a YAW 1 and a YAW 2, they have been very well manufactured from a sort of strength, and they're very well made, I think. But besides any of the, the YAW 2's got some early production's hard, says Elon Musk. So manufacturing's hard, but the people who have got them working are all really loving it. So I think, if you're an investor and you're looking, then, once yours past this early difficulty sort of scaling up production thing, I think they've got a good path ahead of them. So
Yes, sorry, just some addition. Since January, we made some further development on the device. So right now, it's much easier, according to our hope, it's much easier to assemble and much reliable is the reliable.
More reliable.
Yes, reliable. Yep. Right. So it's much more reliable. Of course, there are some issues still with them. Mostly, we have issue with the shipping during the faulty during the shipping. So shipping is maybe Peter will talk a little bit more about that if we will touch this topic. But maybe the main issue is the shipping now, because usually DHL or I don't know, FedEx has lots of idea how to destroy our device still, how to destroy our device during the shipping. So mostly of our warranty issues came from the shipping stuff.
I mean, I think even when mine was one of the first that was received with, at least at that stage, the newer boxing process, and I think it survived pretty well, and I believe you've improved the boxing since that.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, that does kind of bring me on to a question that I sent to Peter the other day, and he's kind of answered for me, but I wanted everyone else to hear. So, those of us who have got who are pro backers waiting on rotation platform, or anyone waiting on a rotation platform who's already got their 2DOF, someone posted a screenshot where there was concern that they weren't compatible. So that the newer rotation platform wasn't easily plugged into the original 2DOF system. So do you want to talk about the situation with that, please?
Sure. So there was a certain point when So as you told before, that production is hard, really hard, and at the beginning when we started the production, honestly we couldn't really handle the production of 2D and the rotation module together. Maybe it was because our lack of production, I don't know, experience or something. We basically we had three at that time we had three different production manager or director in about 6 months or something. So we could find our production director very hard, or so it was very hard,
to find
our
one.
production director. And right now we found the right person, I believe. So he's working very good and with very big commitment. But at that time we couldn't handle both together, and we had to post at that time the number of deliveries. So honestly, our strategy was that if you want to show you numbers, then we have to just stop the production of rotation platform and focus on 2D and the pitch, because there is three big part of the device. One is the pitch part, which is the part where the seat is
connected,
mounted on, or okay, that is the roll, but in together with the pitch part, which is challenging to manufacture. There is the 2D module, which is the bottom part, and there is a separated module, which is the rotation part. So we could just decide, or we had to decide to stop the rotation module manufacturing, and I don't really remember when, but maybe in February we started over, or in January we started over the production of rotation platform, and right now we produce both of them, and slowly we can just eliminate the backlog of the rotation module. I don't know exactly when can we just run out the last missing rotation platform, but it should be happened in the following months.
Okay. Yep. So I think what Peter said was that. Oh, sorry, you go, Peter.
Yeah, just in addition that those will be compatible with the older devices as well, so we can make it compatible. So that was the main question, if I'm correct.
Yes, yeah. So Peter told me in the email
Sorry,
that there's just one section at the top of it that they just change, and then it works with the older 2D base. So
some little details in the devices as we talked about it in the technical update in January, and as Rolt mentioned, we had various production managers before, so of course the devices changed along the route, and yeah, but it's not that we send out rotational platforms that are not compatible. We're gonna send rotational platforms that are compatible, obviously. So,
yep.
Yeah, but what we can promise is that if there is any issue with the compatibility of the rotation platform, we definitely will solve this and help to the certain partner as we do it now. So if maybe our communication a little bit slower as usual, but we can promise that we won't leave alone anyone with technical issues. So maybe next week our colleague in the US will visit two of our backers or partners, and will fix some issues which what they couldn't. So we are committed to fix every issue what our partners experienced.
Okay. So I guess I'll interject there about one of the ones. I did some testing on the USB hub a few days ago, and that's been something I've seen people talking about. So I took it apart, looked up the data sheets. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I do have some electronics experience. So there's a chip before each USB port that limits how much current goes into each port, and it's supposed to allow 500 milliamps. But what I found with testing was that if I plugged it was a battery bank charging into one of the ports, I was getting the 500 milliamp. And then when I plugged something into the second port, the first one would drop. So the current would drop. So I think the issue that people are having is as they add more devices, the overall current is not enough to run all of them. I don't know how you fix that, or what would be done to fix that, but that's what I think is the problem.
So yeah, unfortunately you are right. Honestly, I don't know exactly why, but we developed our own USB module or something. Yeah, so it wasn't very logical because right now when we started to address this issue and find some solution for that, it's turned out it's not my final. Let's say so it's not our final solution. Please don't take it as a final answer for this question because it's under investigation and development yet. But according to our best knowledge, we could use a commercial USB module inside our simulator, and that would be basically the half of the price. It would cost half of the price what we're using now with our solution. So our solution is more expensive and more worse, or so it's less
hasn't worked
good,
as well and costed more.
Yes, as the commercial solutions. So we will replace the USB module to a commercial one, most likely, and we will find a solution to provide this replacement to our existing YAW owners. And I'm sure there will be a solution for that. Until that, you can use an external
you plug
USB,
in a powered hub into it.
A powered USB module until we could solve this issue. So it's a non-issue. It's our own mistake, let's say,
Mhm.
and I'm sure we can fix it.
Yep.
And even there is an idea, so it's also not official, but there is an idea that if we don't know how important for our customers the unlimited YAW rotation, because right now we use slip ring for that, and
Mhm.
slip ring has a limitation to USB 2. So if we would have a USB 3 connection, maybe later it will be accessible, but right now it's not really accessible as USB 3 slip ring on an affordable price.
Mhm.
But if we just limit the rotation to 4 rotations in each direction, then we could just skip the slip ring. So we could use a direct connection between the rotation platform and the 2D module.
Mm-hmm.
And that would allow to use USB 3 connection. I don't know, maybe we will ask later our Kickstarter backers what is their opinion about that. So we don't plan to touch the rotation part at now, so please don't afraid. We will consult before we do this kind of step. We will consult with our backers first.
Does that mean at the moment, if you only have 2 DOF, you could theoretically be using USB 3 if you changed the USB module currently?
Yes. Yeah. If you don't have a rotation module, then yes, because the weakness point, the bottleneck, is the slip ring.
Slip ring, yeah. Would it be possible? I mean, I don't know the entirety of the circuit on the USB module because I know it's got the kill switch as well. But would it be possible to get the pinouts? Because I'm assuming that the wires coming from the Ethernet, some of those are just directly from the USB port on the outside of the unit, or is there? I mean, you probably have to go talk to someone to find out, but possibly we could intercept from the Ethernet port and plug in our own USB port, own USB hub, and just like take out the YAW hub.
I don't know exactly.
I don't expect that you would know. But
I would consult with our electrical engineer István first. But I think yes. So we use a regular USB connection. So it didn't. I don't know. Don't convert the USB signal to another, I don't know,
anything else,
other kind of signal, and then turn it back on the top. So we are using pure USB signal during the whole device. So if somebody has the idea to replace our module, maybe it's possible. But before I say it officially, I have to consult with István, because, for example, as you mentioned, there are some other electronic elements which are maybe mounted on the USB panel. I don't know at this point yet. But if not, so if we have a separated, completely separated USB module, then I suppose it can be replaced by our backers.
All right, I might email you back and forth with that to see, because I'm willing to try it and see if it's possible and document it for people as well.
And by the way, so the kill switch could be so inside the device you can just how can I say?
I'm already making a video about how to supersede the magnetic and just have your own.
If you do that, maybe you can replace the USB module. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me consult with our electrical engineer, and Peter will make a post about this question later.
Great, thank you. I'm just going to have a quick scan of the chat. I mean, there's at least one person saying they've got 3 devices plugged in and they're all working. So maybe the devices they're using don't draw a lot of power, but and at least one person saying unlimited yaw rotation is the main reason that they backed the Kickstarter. So, you know,
okay.
There's going to be
All
some
right.
people who, and I think I would like full rotation, but I haven't experienced what it would be like with just 3 or 4. It might be enough. So, all right. Are you willing to talk about how many units have been delivered to date?
So
rough numbers.
I
if
believe
you don't know it exactly.
Our backers will not very satisfied with this number, so we could deliver around 200 devices for our backers, and around another 200 devices for our pre-orders. So right now it's around equal. I really hope that we can jump out of this situation, of this let's say hard situation where we are now, and start to deliver to our Kickstarter backers. We are super committed, so we absolutely understand. So please don't think that we are just I don't know, living freely in Hungary, and we are very happy with the situation, and we don't feel so my English is not enough sophisticated to explain you this stuff, but we absolutely feel the pressure, the
you're committed to doing it. So I mean,
satisfaction, and
I think the majority of us that backed you on Kickstarter, at least when we talk, I mean, there's always some people who take the pessimistic side and think everything's, but I mean, every interaction that I've ever had with YAW VR has shown me that you're really trying to do right by your customers. So I don't think the majority of people are, there's concern about the financial situation, but I don't think the majority of us are concerned that you're not trying to deliver, because, I mean, purely if I think about it logically, you're in a far better position if you get to the point of being able to deliver, because you're going to make a lot of money, because it is the best option available at the moment, I think. And I think once you have it generally available and are able to actually do a marketing push and know that you'll be able to deliver to people, I think sales will take off like crazy, especially as more and more people have them and talk to people and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, we get it. And
absolutely. So, for example, as I told you, right now we sell the device to keep our financially healthy and be able to move forward. But we didn't do basically any marketing activities in the last couple of months, let's say. And still we have orders. I think 100% because of our backers' videos and opinions about our devices. So we absolutely feel that it's our. So first of all, it's our. How can I say? So it's our moral. I don't know. Peter, can you help me? So ez a erkölcsi kötelességünk, hogy szállítsunk.
Yeah, it's our so we ultimately want to deliver to all of our Kickstarter backers, and our moral obligation to do so.
Yeah, so this is first, and the second is what you also said. As much as we deliver, our brand and our future is better and better because of the positive feedbacks on internet. So it's absolutely because we want to build up a company for long term. It's our main, I don't know, willing to do this.
I think some of the things you've done already to me has shown, the fact that you offered, at least for a while, you offered refunds to Kickstarter people. You had no obligation to do that. So, like, to me, anyone who's saying that, anyone who's thinking that you're just trying to take the money and run, they're obviously not looking at what you're doing, because you didn't have to do that. You did that. You didn't have to give people a discount because of the other simulator, in the Kickstarter, people who'd backed that failed one, you gave them a discount. Those sorts of things are all things that you didn't have to do, but you did. And, it's clear to me, at least, that you're trying really hard to make it work. So anyway, yeah. One person did ask the very hard question of, if you don't get any funding, do you still have a path to deliver to Kickstarter backers?
Yeah, of course, because yes.
It'll
So
just be
as I
slower.
told you earlier, we have to look at our position as we will not get any investment. So that's the bottom line. So we have to act like this, and we have to build up a strategy for that point. So that's why we started to develop 2 new products, which are not really new products, based on YAW 2, our, let's say, YAW 2 platform. This is or 3 new products. One is the YAW 2 Aviation solution, which includes this software called Infuse VR, and we did it because we see a huge demand on the aviation, from the aviation industry. Even with YAW 1, which wasn't really, I believe, capable for professional flight simulation solutions, we got many requests from flight schools, and even in Europe, we just work together with a team who can access all the flight schools in Europe, and at that point we just realized that we have to. Or it would be a good idea if we move forward toward the aviation industry. And what we see in aviation industry, we could realize a much higher profit on each device. It means the profit rate is at least 5 or 3 times than on. No, sorry, 5 or 6 times on each devices, and that would help us to restart the delivery. In end of this April, we will attend on a aviation trade show in Germany, and we want to demo our new solution first time there. So it will be a YAW 2 device. It's just a simple YAW 2 device with a racing frame, and there will be built on it a physical but simplified Cessna cockpit. The simplified means the cockpit will not have monitors and dials and so on, just buttons and switches. And when you sit in the simulator, you will see your own hand, and you will see a real but virtual, realistic but virtual cockpit. And when you just push a button or switch a switch, then there will be a physical switch.
So
and
you'll
you
have
will
tactile real switches to switch, but that happens
so
in
there
VR
will be
as well.
a real, let's say, real physical cockpit, but in the virtual space, and it can compete with flight simulators from or above $50,000. So we just made a small research, and the cheapest, or let's say the cheapest cockpit, which is a Cessna cockpit without motion. So it's a static Cessna cockpit without motion and with displays. So it doesn't a VR headset solution. It costs around $50,000. Our target price is between $15,000 and $20,000, but the production cost is not much higher than
the current.
YAW 2 production cost, so we can realize a much higher profit rate on it. And if we can sell a certain amount, then we can just use the profit to finance the Kickstarter deliveries. And later we want to build up a bigger simulator. The main mechanism will be the same as YAW 2, but your whole body will be inside the simulator, and we want to sell it for military applications. It's a little bit more long-term plan. It will be released around the end of this year, but the simple YAW 2 based aviation solution will be released maybe next month. So we will see. We want to make these product lines available for professional users, and we can make, let's say, big profit on it if we are lucky enough, and if we can find enough partners for that. And it gives us a hope to deliver Kickstarter
faster.
Devices sooner. And two other additional possibility. Right now we are working with a professional partner to sell licenses if they will in bulk in a package. And if we can sell it, we will use that revenue completely to provide it to our backers and early pre-orders. And we also have the Infuse VR software solution, which we don't know how will perform in the near future. We want to finish it until this June, and it will be perfect for PCVR gamers, because you will be able to visualize your hand and your gaming accessories around you. Even not just gaming accessories, so you can visualize your table and your chair and everything. But the original idea, what if we just visualize your existing gaming accessories like steering wheels and shifters and yoke and stuff like that around you inside the VR game. So you will be able to easily handle your accessories inside the game. So I think it will be a cool new software, and we hope we can sell it. So it won't be free. It will be free for our Kickstarter backers, but won't be free for other customers. And we don't know. So it can hit the market, and in that case, it can generate a good revenue, and we can provide it for our Kickstarter backers. Of course, there is a chance that nobody will care about that, but we think it's a good idea to visualize your hand and your environment inside the game on PC.
Okay. So do you have any sort of projections about how long it might take to deliver for backers given different scenarios? So, if that goes, let's say the flight school simulator goes well, then do you have a projection of when Kickstarter back deliveries might be done? Or
so if we are lucky enough, so for example, we find an investor, we can step on the market with the aviation stuffs, and for example, our professional partner buy a higher amount of licenses, then we still see the hope that we can deliver all the devices this year. If not, then unfortunately, I have to say it will a little bit longer, so maybe it will move to the next year as well. But we're working on the positive scenario and working on hard to meet the delivery still this year.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring it to accessories now. So as a lot of us will know, you started off with the dual pole desk, and then you went to the central mount, and now we've seen an early mock of the racing frame. So is it fair to say that the dual pole desk is like, that's just in the past, and that's anyone who's interested in getting that now, it's not really an option anymore, or what's the situation there?
So so this I don't know how can what is, so we call it two legs support or something. I don't know what was the name what you mentioned.
Just dual pole. So yeah, two legs, whatever. Yep.
Okay. So let's say two-legged support is, unfortunately, from engineering point of view, it's a very bad solution yet. So we were working on it lots of time. We spent lots of time on the development of it, and we still couldn't find the right solution. Basically, in January and February, we still working on a new solution, but we just realized it would took too long time to came up some good solution. That's why we already started the development of racing frame months before.
Yep.
And my personal opinion is that if you want to use lighter equipment, then maybe the central holder is a very good solution, because with that you can easily set up the height, the distance from you, the table distance from you. So it's my personal opinion is that it's a very good solution. And that's why we would suggest to everyone who don't want to use 20 kilogram stuff to use that one. For racers and maybe some flight simulator gamers, we can suggest to use our racing frame, which will be available soon. So as we mentioned in our last Kickstarter update, in the following 2 months, we don't really be able to, until we stabilize our situation, we don't really be able to deliver backer devices. But when we can start over the delivery, the racing frame will be available for sure. So anyone will be able to choose the racing frame to use. The racing frame, I like the racing frame because easy to get in and get out from the simulator, and because of this frame solution, it's very rigid and stable. So it's really capable for heavy equipments. And it's like a regular racing frame, so I think it could be familiar for racers. So the two-legged support, we didn't like it because it was a little bit complicated to lock out, fold out the leg, fold out to the other side the table. The table wouldn't be enough strong because of the huge force distance, or I don't know in English, force arm maybe. So that's why we think our current two new solutions, the central holder and the racing frame, is a very good solution. But might be we will try, after we stabilize our operation, we will try to finish our development on the two-legged stuff. But I don't know if we can make better than the racing frame or the central holder.
I would say, just to me, like the leg rest and the central holder is very easy to get in and out of. And that was always the thing that looked difficult in all of the videos of the dual post one, was like the getting in and out was a lot harder. And I think if you're getting the rigidity from the racing frame, and you're getting the flexibility with light peripherals from the central holder, then I would say I wouldn't bother unless, like, I don't think I don't think there'll be a huge market for it. You'd just be investing a lot more time for maybe a few sales. It wouldn't be worth it, I think. But
Yeah. So I totally agree. So that's why we right now don't develop this two-legged solution, and we want to wait for the opinion of our partners about the current. So we didn't deliver a racing frame yet. We delivered one from for our partner in the US. And to Dennis, maybe you know Dennis,
Yes,
but it was just a prototype to make some evaluation on it. But when we start over the Kickstarter deliveries, it will be available, and we are looking for the feedbacks about that. And I hope everybody will be satisfied with that. And even on central holder, we made some improvements, so it getting it and getting more stable and stable.
Okay. Yeah. So with the hardware issues that some people have had, I don't know what everyone's had, but there does seem to be. It does seem from what I've seen of what people have posted, the majority are actually like what you said, UPS and FedEx somehow finding ways to make things not be how they're supposed to be when they get there. But so one of the issues I had was a tolerance related one. It's totally, I don't know. I don't know how much people watching know about manufacturing, but you know, anything manufactured, you're always going to get some faults. So, you know, it's just life. That's what happens. My footrest, the bit that swivels up and down, didn't fit in. And, you know, it's still, I could use it, but it's only at one position. I can't actually adjust it up and down. So things like that, I assume, are largely early manufacturing, and, you know, all of those things improve over time. There's been quite a few people I've seen I've seen posts in the Discord about people having varied results with the smart plug, for instance, which again is probably related more to game engine than it is to the hardware itself, possibly. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about it other than all this is showing is that manufacturing is hard and you're iterating constantly and improving things, I believe, from what I've seen. And, you know, you'll hit a point where you've done all of that iteration. There's nothing else to iterate pretty much. And from there, it'll just be produce, I imagine. But
right now we are very, very close to the situation where we will, let's say, not touch the basic YAW 2 anymore. I mean, of course, we continuously will further develop the device, but in the production, we will not improve anything. So we are close to that point. But until now, we always made lots of small improvements. It's usually just production improvements to make the device more reliable, because of course we have an internal test because our main interest to deliver something which is working, because you know, we don't have a worldwide service network or something. So if we send out something to far away from Hungary, it's very hard to it's very costly to replace and very hard to fix from the distance. So our main interest to deliver a good device, and that's why we test all the devices. But unfortunately, we cannot test some parts, for example, because we can just make a test like a visual test and pack it together. But the main device is always tested. So when it's arrived to our backers and it somehow doesn't work, then mostly that issue happened during the shipping. But we also continuously improving this part. So every time we get back some info about failure or something, then we check it out and make some modification in the packaging. So for example, last time maybe most of you saw the picture when the rotation platform arrived, where the, I don't know the name of the small parts which are broken, was completely broken. So it was very damaged. Right now we made some modification in the packaging, and we made extra we put extra parts, extra safety parts on that certain parts on the rotation platform. So we continuously improving the device and the delivery, the quality of the delivery. Back to the how can I say, the illeszkedési problémák, tud segíteni, Tati? Sorry, I just got some. The tolerance, yes, sorry, the tolerance issues. I think it's already gone. So we work a lot on that to make the assembly easy and without any issue. I think it works now, but let's see the feedbacks about our new solution.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen anyone else say that they've had the issue that I had, which was, like, to be fair, I think it was a fairly minimal. I mean, obviously I want it to be as it's supposed to be, but in the scope of what I received, it was a fairly minimal issue.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you're going to fix it. You're going to send me a replacement part for that one. So it's not a big deal from my perspective. I mean, the biggest issue for me is all of those things cost you more for shipping, which makes it harder for you to deliver more units to other people. So, which is also...
But it's our... so we have to replace the parts which are not working, because we want to, as I told you earlier, we want to build up the company for long term.
Yes, yeah.
So if you want to build something for long term, then it has to be working.
Sure. All right. So I guess there's one of the questions that comes out of that, I guess, is I've seen varying responses from people in Discord about how quickly they get a response to a support query. So they might send an email. Some people are saying that they get responses really quickly. Some people are saying it goes for weeks and they don't get a response. And what do you have to say about that, I guess?
Peter?
We're constantly trying to reduce. Yeah, we're trying to reduce that backlog, but yeah, currently it's around a week. I'm gonna work through Easter as well to answer all the emails, and I'll reduce that. So,
is there anything that we can do to make? Because I assume there's some people who are just emailing you every couple of days, going, "Where's my unit? Where's my unit?" Like surely.
Yeah, I say that please don't email us, because it wouldn't fit in. We will answer everyone, and some people send it to all of our emails. That wouldn't be a problem neither. So there's no technical problem that you could avoid. It's on our end. Like we should just get down to it and do some extra hours.
I assume you just got a lot of emails and it takes time to get through them. So
yeah, we are considering to hire a new guy to help the support team. The support team has 3 people now, but we have lots of demand in terms of emails. So maybe we will extend the team, and then this issue will hopefully eliminate.
I've just seen a question. Sorry, go Peter.
Here, I guess that, sorry, just an addition that we are using now a new ticketing system, which helps us big time in not forgetting any emails. Happened previously in very low numbers, but now I feel more confident about this. But of course, that took some time to implement this.
Get in place, yeah. So someone... Are you shipping backers consecutively yet, or are they still like randomly numbered?
I think it's so let's say both.
Okay.
So we try to keep ourselves to the backer numbers, but sometimes for different reasons we need to make some exceptions. So because of the geographically stuff, sometimes marketing stuff. So the reasons are various, but we are trying to keep the original backer order.
Okay, yeah. I would assume that even just what's being produced and what's available limits where you can ship, who you can ship to as well potentially. But okay, so I think there's only really two more areas that I have seen gaps in, which we've spoken a little bit about, which is software. So, I mean, we've already identified that game engine needs some updates. I think one of the largest components that I've personally had issues with when using game engine, at least, is getting motion compensation working. I think that's a really, really big, you're building a business, but you're also building an ecosystem that needs software and needs developers on board for adding support to games. So, I mean, just if we talk about support for games, like I've been contacting developers for some time, and like here's a list of developers that have said various things. So I've, all of these developers have been given a generally positive response when I've asked them about adding YAW support or just even adding telemetry support. So some of these actually have support now. So Fly Dangerous has SRS support after I raised a ticket on their GitHub. Evercron Legacy, he wrote his own game engine, so he doesn't even, it's not even Unity, but he started creating code to build like UDP output and so on. But because I didn't have my rotation platform yet, I couldn't fully test. Kayak Mirage actually implemented the YAW SDK, and I've done a live stream of that, but sort of, because I didn't have rotation and I couldn't get motion compensation working, it didn't quite feel right, and I didn't. So, what are the things, like what do you think can be done to improve that situation so that it's easier for developers, number one? Because I did ask that last time. I think there's partially a documentation thing. Like they can implement SDK, but it's not always obvious to them about everything that's involved in doing that.
Sorry, just one second.
Okay.
I have to plug in my
Sure.
laptop. One second, please. Continue.
So I would assume with the Infuse stuff that you need to have working motion compensation. Otherwise, it's not going to work properly. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just plug it in. Okay, I'm here. So yeah, regarding the software, we understand and we know, because we see the feedback that the game engine is not stable enough, maybe not stable enough for our users.
Mm-hmm.
And we are continuously working on to further develop it. Maybe you have seen the beta version of the new game engine, which where there is a big change in the user interface and the internal structure. So Daniel, our software engineer, just replaced almost the whole inside structure of the game engine. And we hope it will be more stable in the future. So we will make some bug fixing and find some memory leaks and stuff like that. So I hope the stability of the software will be solved in the future. In terms of usability, I don't know. We usually test our simulator with our game engine, and I didn't experience the big mistakes apart from the instability. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, if the game engine will be stable, then or everybody will be able to use it with a great result. Because we have some I think we have some good functions in it. The absolute how can I say, customization possibilities, the mathematical formulas, the sharing possibilities, to share the certain settings and so on. So I think the game engine has good functions. So it will worth to use, but first we have to make it stable enough to use. And of course, until that, we also can mention that everybody mentioned to use a Sim Racing Studio solution, which is really a good solution. We see the value in it, so we also can honestly recommend, because we are not competing to each other, so we can recommend to use Sim Racing Studios. But anyway, we are working on to speed up the development of our and the bug fixing of game engine. Regarding the motion compensation, we absolutely understand how important is the motion compensation. If we provide a rotation platform, I think it's absolutely the basic thing that we need, motion compensation. But it's also a very hard question, because the technology is changing. So for example, the Steam VR, Open VR solution is also very unstable. Sometimes it is working, sometimes it's not. We used it lots of time and it worked well, but in the last couple of weeks we couldn't really use it. So that is why we started to develop our own solution, which is an ALVR based solution. I don't know if everybody is familiar with ALVR, or I don't know how can I pronounce. It's a streaming solution, like it's similar like virtual desktop or HTC Vive Business Stream or Airlink from Oculus. It's the same solution, but it's an open source solution. And because of its open source, we could make some modification in it. That's why we can visualize the hand recognition. That's why we can visualize accessories around you, and that's why we can dealing with motion compensation, let's say, easily. And we will release, I don't know the exact timing yet, but in weeks, hopefully, we will release an ALVR motion compensation solution, which will hopefully perfectly handling the motion compensation. But for now, it will work with Oculus, with HTC. So it will work with standalone headsets, like Oculus, Focus 3, or Pico.
Can I just clarify there? You mean it only works with standalone headsets, or it works with them as well as like a Steam VR headset?
No, right now, as I know, I'm not perfectly up to date in that, but as I know, ALVR working with just standalone headsets, because it's a wireless solution. And if you want to use the rotation functionality absolutely freely, then maybe standalone headsets are a good solution. And I can say, according to my own experience, the Wi-Fi streaming is very good. So I don't see huge difference between Wi-Fi stream. If you use Wi-Fi 6, I don't see any huge difference between Wi-Fi streaming and cable streaming. So I can easily recommend to everyone to use Wi-Fi streaming solutions, and ALVR is a good solution for that. Maybe later cabled solutions will be available. We will see. But this solution will completely solve this motion compensation issue.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be great. So we have had another question that I've seen crop up a few times, which is Someone's asking about whether the motion is supposed to be completely smooth, or whether if you're going very slow, you can feel the cog movement. So is that expected?
You mean
or?
in motion compensation or
No, I think they're just talking about
device?
while the platform's moving, if it's going really slow, they can kind of feel it going.
Okay.
So,
according to my experience, we just replaced the cogwheel profile recently. According to my experience, you don't feel the cogwheel stuff. I don't know, Peter. You can confirm it.
Like for me, it feels smooth, but if someone experiences that, I'm happy to have a video from him or her and take a deeper look into that.
Yep. Okay.
But let us check it. Let us check it again, and of course, in our next update, we will refer and we will share the link of this video. And at that time, we will until this time we can test this issue and answer it in our update.
Okay. Someone else has asked about if there's any more news on the Gravity platform.
Please again, sorry.
Is there any more news on the Heave platform?
Yes. So we're working hard on to be able to show the Gravity platform on the Aviation Trade Expo end of this April. So we invest some development effort in it now, because we think that the aviation product with the G platform would be awesome. So it would help us to sell a lot about that. And it means it will help us to bring the G platform production to the audience as well. So not just for aviation, but for everybody. Yeah, so we are working on it, and hopefully in April, end of April, we will be able to show you a video about a working platform.
Cool. I was just thinking about, with what you're saying for the flight schools, and you're targeting a Cessna at the moment, but would it be something that would be logical for you or hard to do to target a different aircraft? Like, would you potentially have swap out sort of dashboards that I don't know if the flight schools even need that, but you know, it sounds like it might not be a massive undertaking for you to target another type of aircraft, for instance.
Yeah, so the beauty of this solution that the virtual desktop, or let's say the visual desktop is not desktop, the visual dashboard is virtual, and behind the visual dashboard there is a real dashboard with switches. So the beauty of this solution is that we can easily replace the physical and virtual desktop. So for example, right now our solution works with XPlane 11 and 12. So that will be the main software what we provide for our solutions. And if there is any other virtual dashboard in the software, there is lots of, let's say, then we can easily build up the physical cockpit behind the virtual. It's absolutely possible. And why we can be very competitive, because we don't have to use the exact instruments from a Cessna. So because right now, if you buy a Cessna cockpit for training, then you have to buy a Cessna cockpit with real instruments, with real GPS stuffs, with real dials, and so on. But we easily can use just a cheap switch instead of to buy the original Cessna switch to make everything perfectly fit to the reality. So that's why we can be competitive. So even if we want to make a jet fighter cockpit, we can do it let's say easily and more on a more affordable way as we could do it in without our Infuse VR solution.
Yeah. So that Infuse VR overlay, that can be used in any game, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the great advantage of this solution that we don't have to touch the game any way.
Okay.
So it will just show up an extra layer
in
front of the
VR.
front of the game streaming.
Okay. Stuart Gill has asked, I'm trying to rephrase this because I'm not sure what he means, but with the Heave unit, is it going to be just you can drop your rotation platform or TUDOF on top of it, or will it be a combined rotation and Heave?
Originally, our idea was to combine it. So most of the rotation platform has some holes under it, but we just realized it don't makes really any sense. So it's much simple and easier that you have to just drop the stuff on it, and maybe we will make some software integration. So hopefully you won't necessary to to set up as a different device the Heave platform. So it will definitely will work together with the whole device, but from electronical point of view, it will be completely separated. Maybe the USB and network connection could be connected to each other, but there won't be any other other connection.
Do you know at the moment how much extra height that's likely to add to the entire system?
According to the current prototype, the extra height would be when
it's at its lowest point.
Yeah, bottom status, it would be around 10 centimeters or something. Yeah, so around 10 centimeters.
Yeah, cool. That's good to know.
You mean the extra height of the hardware itself, or the additional height
when it's in place? Like, so let's say I had a yaw with a rotation platform, and I have to step this high. Once I have the Heave unit, how high do I have to step? Is it? So I think.
So Peter, not when it's operating, but when you just sit on it.
Yeah, I think when it's at rest, when I'm stepping to sit into the seat, how much am I going to have to get up?
Sorry, just one addition. Maybe it will be a little bit more height, so maybe 15 centimeters or something, because we will use springs to set up the working point. Of the stuff. So maybe it will be a little bit higher, but around 15 centimeters or something.
Yeah. So the at-rest state would effectively be the central point of movement, would it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we don't need to hold your whole weight during the game. So there will be a central point, and we will move it up down and up from there.
Someone asked, have you considered going on Shark Tank for investors?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Have you considered
Shark Tank?
Yeah, Shark Tank.
I don't know. We didn't get this idea yet. I don't know. We have to check it out.
Well, even if you apply, there's no guaranteeing that you get on the show anyway. So
usually this the big risk of this kind of programs that if you fail, then maybe it can affect to find other investors. But we never have been very afraid, or sorry, I don't know how can I say. So we never afraid about the challenges.
Yeah. Someone else said Shark Tank take a huge chunk of the profit margin anyway, so you wouldn't want that. But yeah. All right. Okay. In the chat, does anyone? So Microsoft Flight Simulator I'm pretty sure I've seen people saying you can't get full yaw in that. Do you know?
You mean?
So, someone was saying you really need to try and get Microsoft Flight Simulator to add the YAW SDK, which would be awesome, but I don't know how easy that would be to do. But
Sorry, I didn't get what kind of Mark?
So Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
compatible.
So we have lots of not problems but issues with XPlane 11. We contacted them. Originally we didn't want to make this Infuse VR software package. We just contacted. So we originally we would need just hand recognition and visualization. That's all. That was the original idea to build up the Aviation product. We contacted and we had the intention to build up our own streaming software or something. So we contacted the virtual desktop team to include hand recognition into virtual desktop. We got answer, but we got definite no. I have contacted XPlane team, the XPlane team. They said they will consider to build in the hand visualization, but until that we didn't get any answer, and I had some other questions, but unfortunately I didn't get any answer. So that was the point where we had to think about to move on and make our own solution, and now we have some issues. So I like XPlane 11 and 12 because it's really good for aviation trainings, and so it's easy to use with good performance and so on. But for example, to synchronize the virtual desktop, the virtual dashboard, with the physical dashboard, it's a little bit complicated inside XPlane 11. It would be very easy. So if they could access us to the camera position freely, because right now we don't have really access to the camera position. We can just emulate some keyboard shortcuts to move the camera, and so we have to work with that, which is not a very elegant solution. So we tried to contact them, we couldn't, and maybe this issue won't appear in Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Sim. So at a certain point, we will switch to Microsoft Flight Sim, or we will make it available, both of them on our platform. But right now, because of we started the development on XPlane, we use that one. But after the exhibition, on a certain point, we will decide if we go with XPlane or switch to Microsoft Flight Sim.
Okay.
But sorry, just one addition. So if somebody will develop their own physical dashboard and synchronize with Microsoft Flight Sim, you can do it now. So it's not necessary. So from our side, not necessary anything. If we will release Infuse VR, you will be able to build up and make the synchronization for any software.
Yep. Okay. And I guess so. What would be the situation? What's my best approach now if I'm talking to developers and wanting them to implement support, like say SDK support in the game? Is there any updates on what the situation was last time I asked about that? Now, I mean, I've improved my approach now. I send them the link to the simulator so that they can test even though they don't have hardware. I send them the links to the SDK. Have you thought about trying to create a standard for telemetry output? Because I think that's one of the biggest problems in this industry. There's no standard approach for delivering telemetry. You know, every software has its different way of doing plugins. If everyone just implemented, you know, output your telemetry to this UDP port in this format, and then each software can just deal with that, I think it would create a massive increase in the amount of games that have telemetry output. Because at the moment, if someone wants to add SRS support, they've got the SRS SDK. If they want to add YAW support, they add the YAW SDK. So that's 2 SDKs. And then there's also sim tools. And then that's if they want native support, but otherwise they could create a UDP output, and then people have to develop plugins for the things. Like it's...
Yeah, I think it would make sense to make some standard about that. Because we are in good relationship with SRS, for example, so we could just work together on it. I believe if we contact sim tools, they would be also very happy to somehow involved in this stuff. But I'm not sure if OpenXR has some kind of solution for that. I have to check it if OpenXR was working on it or not, because then it would be logical if they would working on it to make a telemetry output standard. If not, I believe it's easy to do, and we see a little natural shifting toward how can I say, natural evolved standard, because as we see lots of game developers, before they implement their output, they just checked what other developers do, and so we see some similarities between outputs. So that's why sometimes a new plugin development time is just a few hours, so not days or something, but just, let's say, minutes, because the telemetry output is perfectly the same as the other. But yeah, I agree that it would make sense to make a perfect standard what can use anyone, and according to the support to developers, we absolutely see the value and the importance to keep to be in contact with the developers and help them to integrate not just our system but a telemetry output solution into their game, because we don't want to occupy this area to ourselves. How can I say? So we don't want to do that. We are interested in to have as many games as possible with telemetry output, and we support usually in case of YAW 1, we supported game developers, let's say, with full effort. So we sent out free devices to them to help to develop this stuff. Right now, we cannot do that yet. An investment would help on this front as well. But for example, we just include the YAW 2 into the emulator, our emulator solution. We make some improvements on our not Unity but Unreal, our Unreal SDK. We implemented some stuff what was missing from there, and even our SDK can be used not just in Unity and Unreal, but can be used on any platform. But of course, on other platforms, you have to make a little bit more development. So we try to support all the game developers, and we are very open to make a standard for game output. Game outputs, and even for motion compensation, because honestly, if we could, if we could make a standard for that, and every game developers would include a standard motion compensation input into their game. I mean, if we could send the motion or the orientation status of our simulator into the game, then the game could handle the visualization motion compensation, and then there won't be any issue with that. So I think the standard stuff would make sense on this front as well, very much.
Okay. So you're supportive of game developers implementing telemetry output in a way that any simulator any simulation software can consume, basically. So
so right now we have our own if it has regular UDP output, but maybe I will talk with Daniel if we can. If there is no included, then if we can build in, because I don't think it would make sense to close this way, and in that case the developers would implement just one SDK into the game, and the UDP would be open for any other simulators. So I think it would make sense to do this. I don't see the advantage if we close our system very much and try to make exclusive everything for us. So it's a good idea. I will talk with Daniel about that. So yes, I agree.
Someone's just asked, is there any updates on the arcade version of the YAW 2?
Yes, we delivered the first, let's say, final developed arcade maybe yesterday. I don't know, Peter, if it's true or not.
It's correct.
So it's I'm sure it's already pegged, so it's already delivered or will be delivered. And yeah, we finished. The only missing part was the occupancy sensor. We developed it. It looks good. Even we could measure with that the weight of the user, so it's very precise. So yeah, we finished that development, and we start to deliver these kind of devices as well.
Right. All right. Well, I think I'm at the end of what I wanted to cover. Is there anyone still watching the stream that has any questions they want to try and throw in at the end? I'll give a minute or so. I think there's a slight delay, so they might come straight away. But thank you to both of you for joining me again. It's always a pleasure. Someone's asked, is there any update on the shipment of the seats?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's in not in Hungary, but it's in Croatia now, or maybe it's already on the way to Hungary. So it's very close to us now. So we hope next week we will get it, or at the latest after next week. So it's very close to here. It will come with train, and from Budapest will be delivered as soon as possible to Tatabánya. So we are very close to that.
Yep.
And next time, so we learned a lot about that. So unfortunately, it was a very unfortunate situation with that. So we accidentally, my colleague ordered the wrong seats, which is so that quality was super bad. So we were thinking a lot if we can do something to replace the inside structure by ourselves in Hungary or something, but we must decide it's not possible to send out that. So we couldn't take that we send out that kind of chairs. So after we ordered a new bench, it was an unfortunately costly mistake. But we try to sell that seats back to the manufacturer. Hopefully it will work. And afterwards we order the new seats, and somebody make a mistake on the Chinese side. Someone make a mistake on the delivery, I don't know, papers or something. there was lots of mistakes on this order, but fortunately it's already in Europe, very close to Hungary, and it will arrive next week or after next week at the latest.
Someone's asked about motion software for movies and TV shows. I don't know how you would approach that because the movies aren't going to provide any motion data.
So we have a very early solution for that, where basically we have this software. It's not 100% finalized yet, but we provided to one of our partner in the US who wanted to make some videos with motion. So we have an editor where you can load in the video and you can make motions to the video. And even we have a interesting solution that you can connect your phone into the software and you watch the video and you make the movement with your phone. And it will record, and after you can just make some adjustment and it can work. So we have a solution for that. We didn't think there is a demand for that, or so somebody wants to use, but if somebody wants to use it, just contact us, and I can send over the newest, the latest version. I think it works, but let us check.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. Can backers add accessories before their unit ships? So if they wanted to get the racing frame, or if they want an extra rail for HOTAS, what's the way to do that?
As usual, everybody will contact it before the delivery, and they can make any kind of changes on the setup.
Mm-hmm.
Even they can change the color, if I'm not wrong. I don't know, Peter.
That was the next question that just came through. So.
We're trying to be flexible, so yes, it can be flexible.
So if they want to change color, should they be contacting now, or should they be waiting until they hear from you still?
I think so. We will contact them before the color will be decided or something. So they will have some time to change the color.
Okay, great.
And sometimes we contact people that we could send you a device, but we don't have blue, but we have black, and can you accept it or not? And usually it works as well.
Okay, great. All right, I think we're done for today, gents. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian, for your support and to organize this stuff. We are very open to do this anytime. And I just want to say a thank you for all the backers because of this huge patience, because we see that, of course, I see that that it's not too great thing to hear this kind of delay about this kind of delays and financial difficulties and so on. So we really appreciate your patience, and it give us lots of force and strength to continue and solve this issue and deliver to all our backers.
Yep. I think this was a joke, but someone said, "Are you still refunding backers due to wife divorcing over this purchase?"
Sorry, I didn't get it.
No, it's probably a translation.
Maybe my English not good enough.
I think someone's saying, "Can I get a refund if my wife's going to divorce me because I backed the Kickstarter?"
Oh my God! Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a joke.
So regarding the refund, as you may know, we have a refund list. So so if somebody wants to refund, please contact us, and hopefully we can open up the refund soon. But if somebody's wife,
it might be too late. It might be too late if your wife's divorcing you.
Please contact us as well.
Yeah.
And please note if you want to divorce or
you can delay it. One question was, with the LED lights, is it possible to control them with other software? So they mentioned Signal RGB. I don't know what that is, but Is it possible to control the LED lights with other software, or is it only controllable via?
Good question, because we can control the LEDs with game engine, and it's not a closed system according to my best knowledge. So I think it's possible through UDP protocol,
UDP,
but
yeah.
but I have to ask Daniel if there is any how can I say any
blocker.
So if there is any process to identify the software which try to connect, or there is no any this kind of stuff.
Yep. And at least one of the people said, "Thank you for coming on. Good to see you're open and honest about even the not so good stuff going on." So, yeah, people are saying thanks.
Thank you for the possibility.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to sign off then, guys. Thanks again. We'll do one again in maybe 1 or 2 months. Maybe we'll do another one in 1 or 2 months. Do you think?
All right.
Okay.
Then see you soon.
Great.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.